Hi. Can you believe it? I am on live and I'm on time. I can't believe it. Those of you that know me, I'm sure you were taking bets whether or not I would be on time or if I would be a few minutes late. There's a first time for everything. So, tonight we were supposed to have a guest speaker, a very good friend of mine, very talented psychic medium, Amy Delman. However, we had technical difficulties. So those of you that were watching me today saw me. I kept going live and going off and going live. We were trying to see. Cousin Jerry, you want to join me on the live? I'll pull you in a minute. Give me a few minutes to get settled in, and then I'll pull you on. Hi, Janet. Hi, Brian. I'm so excited to have you guys with me tonight. So, as Spirit would have it, Amy could not join, but she'll be with me probably next week. We'll figure that out. So you get to hear me, and you get to hear me talk about one of my favorite topics, manifesting. So, right from the beginning, are you a driver or are you a passenger in your life? Do you choose which way your life is going to go, or do you just accept what life brings you? So what do I mean by that? When we manifest, we decide where we're going to go. I've had times in my life that have been very stressful, very crazy, and I put all the stress up here and I take it down one piece at a time, and I figured out where I wanted my life to go. And even my mother would say to me, but Angie, how are you going to buy another house? You already own this house. And I would go, Ma, don't worry about it. All I have to do is tell God what I need, and it's going to work out. And it always worked out because from the fiber, the core of my being, I truly believed that God would handle it for me. So you have to decide, do you want to be the driver? All right. Now, the other thing you need to think about is your circle of friends. We all have friends that are dreamers, right? They're these people that they have dreams of grandeur, but they do nothing about it. Do we all know what I'm talking about? Hi, Kat. Then we have our friends, super successful friends. They put it out there and it happens. And then we have friends that kind of just stay in the middle and go with the flow, right? So why does that happen? Now, I have never worked in the corporate world. I work in a school, you guys know that. But I have friends that have worked in corporate. So I know a little bit about it. You have a boss. Quarterly, you meet with that boss and you set up your goals. Interesting. You have to write your goals down. You have to look at them. You have to talk about them. So now think about the senses, right? You're looking, you're talking, you're listening to your boss, you're setting your goals, and you have to sign the goals. Okay? So, hi, I'm glad I'm speaking your language, love. So you have to sign those goals. So now think of all the senses that you've brought in. These are people that are super successful. These are big businesses that are super successful. Why? They meet with their employees, they set their goals, and they stay on top of it, and they make sure it's done. You get a copy of your goals and you move on. Well, why don't we do this in real life? Why don't we set our goals and move on? So some of you might have heard about a dream board. Dream board is a way for you to set your goals, put them down on paper or on a board. I have mine on a ginormous piece of heavy oak tag, so it stands up on its own. I have to look at it 1,000 times a day. It stays in my living room. I walk past it. I light my candles. It's always in my mind. My goals for my life. Now, what's on my dream board? I have many different parts to my dream board. The center of my dream board is my family. There's a picture of me and my 2 children. That's the thing that's first and foremost in my life, in my world, in my heart, is that. So you have to think about what is your center, right? So my goals for my family. You know, those of you that know, my kids are all over the country. I'm here dealing with the snow, and I got one in Cali and one in Tampa. Go figure. My goals are keeping my family together, regardless of where they are, keeping everybody together, safe, happy, with God in their heart. So I'm telling you a little bit about what's important to me. I have a whole section about my career. I love every aspect of what I do, working with the children at work, teachers, educators, parents, families. I love everything that I do. And I love that everything I do here at Your Angels Therapy, craniosacral therapy, myofascial release, a lot of it is emotional therapy, releases, all of that. Love every second of it. Reiki, all of it. And then I have my other part, which is my personal part. It's my fun. I finally added a man into my dream board. My last dream board, I have to tell you, everything that I wrote on my dream board came to fruition. Hand to God. Every single thing that I put on it. I caution you not to limit yourself, because I limited myself with a dollar amount that I would be making, and I made that amount to the dollar. I should have added another zero. So the point is, don't limit yourself. Shoot for the stars. This is your world. The Bible says, ask and you shall receive. So you have the opportunity to drive your car. Don't be the passenger. You drive your car and you decide where you're going in your world. Okay, dream board. So I have everything on my dream board. I look at it every day, 1,000 times a day. It's always here, present in my mind. So the way I equate life is, it's like you have this beautiful opportunity to write the manuscript to your life. Write the play, write acts 1, 2, 3, whatever. Write your movie, write your book, chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything that you've been through in your past has made you the beautiful person that you are today. Now think about your next step. So I do a lot of research. I'm always talking about the nerd that I am. So one thing that I came across that really struck me about manifesting was you have to own who you are now. So what I mean by that is, years ago, I identified as mommy and only mommy. Yes, I was still in OT, and that's a huge, huge part of my life, but I identify as Anthony's mommy, Gianna's mommy. Well, now that they're grown up, all of a sudden I went like, holy crap. Like, you go through this moment of, who am I? Who am I, right? So you need to think about who you are and who you want to be in your world, and then begin to manifest. Talking about our friends for a quick second. Yes, I have notes because I need to keep my thoughts organized. So thinking about your friends. Ever go out with some friends and you're like, whoo, that was a lot of fun. And you come home and you're invigorated, and I have friends that run businesses, and I come home and I'm like, revved up, and I'm like, wow, that was great. And then you have other friends that suck the life out of you. Ever have that? You come home and you're exhausted. Well, how are you going to live your life purpose if you're constantly in that state of like being sucked down? So you need to think about that. Now, something that I've learned as I've been on my spiritual journey is circles change. Circles change because our vibrations change. The higher our vibration is, the higher elevated we are, our energy is up, our energy is going. That doesn't resonate for everybody, right? So you have to decide where you're going in your world and surround yourself with people that are going to be happy for you, that are going to push you to the next level and help you get there, right? We help each other up. There's always those memes, like as you're going up the ladder, you pull someone up with you. Always think about that too. Think about your life purpose. Wow, I talked about all of that. I am sticking to my plan. I am sticking to my plan. All right, now, another thing. One thing that holds us back, huge, we hold ourselves back. You know why? Because we think too much. We do. We analyze. We analyze everything. So we'll say, oh, I really want this, whatever this might be. It could be, I want to travel the world. I wanted to, honestly, I do. I really want to help underprivileged children that need healing, that need help. That is a life goal of mine. I want to be able to travel and give of my heart. Now, I can use my brain and go, how am I going to get there? That's a lot of money to travel the world. How am I going to do that? I got to pay my bills. Mama's got to make bank. What am I going to do? That's not my problem. It's not. All I have to do is put my thoughts down on paper and give it up. I give it up to God. And I'm like, this is where I need to be. It's not for me to figure it out. He'll figure it out. And I promise you that when you believe in something with every fiber of your being, it happens. It happens. I told you, everything on my dream boards have come true. It's like incredible. But we get in our own way and we put up our own roadblocks and we say, again, how is that going to happen? Oh, that can't happen. That can't happen. Give you a perfect example. My life. What am I going to talk about? I got to give my examples. So at one point in my life, I owned a beautiful home in Massapequa, and it just wasn't the right place for my children to be anymore. So I needed to buy another house, and my kids wanted to be back in Farmingdale. Well, how was I going to do that? Single mom, self-employed, I own a home. How am I going to buy another home? And again, my mother, my little angel, she's always like, Angie, whatever. Angie, how are you going to pay? How are you going to pay for 2 homes? How are you going to get them? Who's going to give you a mortgage? 2 mortgages, self-employed, this, that. Mom, don't worry about it. I told God what I needed. I told God that I needed a house that was done, painted, I needed it move-in ready, turnkey operation. Turnkey operation. She was like, but. I go, Ma, save the negativity. Save your worries. I know you love me and you're worried, but save it. I don't need to worry. I give it up and God's going to handle it. Well, sure enough, I got my mortgage. Not a problem. I got my home. Beautiful home. Turnkey operation. Painted. The floors were done. The kitchens were done. The bathrooms were done. Everything was done. Because I believed in the fiber of my being that God was going to handle it for me. I told him what I needed and it came to fruition. I manifested it. I threw it out and I had a very clear set of goals, a very clear set of exactly what I needed. And I didn't waver. There was no, well, maybe this, maybe. No, I was very clear. I need the kitchens done. I needed 2 kitchens. I'm a guinea. We need 2 kitchens. You know, Christmas Eve, we need the other kitchen. We got the kitchens. I needed the bathrooms done. And I needed my children to be happy. Very, very important. I needed my children to be happy here. Okay? So, I got what I asked for. Everything I asked for. Not a thing more. Only what I asked for. Which kind of stunk. I forgot to ask that the pavers should be done, the sprinkler system, the fence, none of that. And by the way, High Ranch, there was no deck on my upper sliders. Don't ask how I got a mortgage with that one. But I had to do all of the outside work. So very, very clearly, when you manifest, you must think about every single thing when you manifest and you put your list down because you're only going to get what you ask for. All right. So that's that. Another time I manifested another house. It was like another house in Farmingdale over here. And I got it. The house was actually in contract with other people. I manifested it. I wanted the house. I got it. I forgot to ask that we should be happy there. Beautiful home. We had some great parties there. We had some really fun, but ultimately it was not the right place. So think about whole manifesting. Remember, you want to be happy. Remember that this should come to fruition for the greater good of all concerns, right? You might want to lose weight. God, I wish I could be skinny. Well, be careful with that one. You want to be healthy. Healthy first and foremost, So maybe change the way you ask to be skinny. God, give me self-control. God, give me the energy to go to the gym today. Think about, God, give me the less cravings. Whatever the case may be, but really think about that whole piece. Being happy for the greater good of all concerned. The same thing goes with money. You can manifest money, but we want to keep everyone happy, healthy here. We don't want inheritance money, right? So you want everyone happy, healthy for the greater of all concerned. Organize your mind. And that's where the dream board comes in. You can write it down on a piece of paper. That's fine too. You don't have to get like me. I cut things out. I print things out. I have this bit. You don't have to get Unga Patch like me. You can put it on one piece of paper and you can look at it every single day. Light your candle. Read your manifestations. Read your goals for your life. If you really have goals and you want to get there, go for it. I had a friend who actually lives in my mother's development. So not really my friend, but like I meet everybody down at the pool. Older gentleman, he was about 78 years old, and he was in a terrible, terrible, terrible car accident. Terrible. And the doctors told him he would never walk again. And there, by the grace of God, he now walks. So why? Why? I don't know. Was it a miracle? According to medical people, it was a miracle. He prayed very hard and he really focused and really he didn't listen to the program of he couldn't. I have another friend who's here. She's a Facebook friend. Amazing, amazing woman. Amazing. Had terrible cancer. Terrible. They cut parts of her body. I mean, it was just what she went through. Mind, body, soul transformation in this woman. And they told her, and she was beautiful, gorgeous woman. And they told her that her body would never look right again, and that she would never be able to be strong again, and that her biceps would never look a certain way, and that her quads would never look a certain way. Well, guess what? She's working her butt off in the gym, but she got her strength back. And she's absolutely gorgeous. And she looks at life differently now too. And she uses her platform to help other people that have been through, a terrible time. So manifest. She figured it out. She dug deep. Okay. Years ago, we never thought there could be flying cars. I go into work the other day. Kids are like, Miss Angela, did you know there's flying cars? I was like, no, that's on the Jetsons, right? I'm like, that's on the Jetsons. Do you know that there's flying cars? There are prototypes, flying cars. Possible versus impossible. Do we believe or do we just get in our way? That person that's inventing, the people that are inventing the flying car, no one's telling them they can't. No one's telling them they can't. They're figuring out a way. Don't let people tell you you can't. You clear your mind. Dig deep. What is important to you? Where do you want to go and make it happen? Learning to create your world the way you want it. That's the bottom line. That is what manifesting is. Creating your world the way you want it. Putting people in your circle. I know, Lee, you just wrote energy vampires. Yes, 100%. Are you surrounding yourself with people that are helping you get to your goals, or are you pulling yourself into people that are not? Decide where you want to be and get yourself there. I think I've been pretty clear about how to manifest. Set your goal, write it out, pray on it, whoever you pray to, and it'll happen. You must be clear and you must not waver. If you go into it like, I think I want to open a business, but I'm not really sure, it's not going to happen. People say to me all the time, well, if you manifest so well, how come you're still single? Well, because Pat, oh my goodness, hi. I'm single because I couldn't figure out what it was that I wanted in a man, right? What it was that I wanted in a partner. Until you really decide what it is that you want to manifest clearly, it's not going to happen. Set it, write it down, draw pictures, I don't care, hieroglyphics, whatever it is, put it down, and then it will happen. Once you decide in the core of your being what it is that you're manifesting, that you truly want, need, desire, everything for the greater good of all concerned, it will happen. Okay? So maybe next week I'll do a whole thing on dream boards. The last piece, that is the hardest piece for me, is trust and chill. Once you have manifested, you have to breathe on it. Keep reading it, keep praying on it, but trust and chill. It will happen. It's not always in our timing, but it will happen. When your soul is ready for that to come into place, it will happen. It's not up to you at that point. It's up to God. I believe in God. That is who I pray to. I do everything in God's white light. So when it's supposed to happen in His timing, it will happen. Your soul has to be ready for that step. Make peace with your past, right? I talked about this last week. Our past sometimes holds us back. We have events that took place. We have to make peace with them. Someone may have wronged you. It happens. Everyone's on a different journey, but you have to say, thank you for the lesson and move on. If you allow that energy, that person's negative energy to keep pulling you into that moment, you can't move forward. And the other piece of that is, if you stay in that negative space, it's taking up space. Light and love. You need to fill yourself with light and love in order to move forward in your journey. Okay? So make peace and make room. And then everything falls into place. So I'm trying to see if anyone had any questions. Mess ups are not really mess ups. I agree with you, Lee. Yes. We all have made mistakes in our life. I've taught my children a mistake is never bad as long as you learn from it. Right? These are our journeys. I feel our journey here is to keep moving forward. We learn from our lessons. We help other people learn their lessons, and we move forward in our journey, and we move forward in our life purpose. So yes, you are correct. And she said, our mess ups are God's way of saying, whoa, girl, move in the direction. Say now what you want. Okay, beautiful. Cousin Jerry, forgive all and go on. Absolutely. Forgive and move on, because otherwise it holds you. It holds you back. Don't let someone else hold you back. Don't let negative energy hold you back. Bring in the positive energy. And if you need positive energy, this is your girl. I'm very good. I do sound like my teacher. Pat Longo is on here. And like, what an honor. So I met Pat really quickly. I was pregnant with Gianna. So we're going back like 20 years. Holy crap. And Pat had meditation circles in her and spiritual development in her home at that time. Pat is known around the world. She is an incredible healer. And some of the very, very best have learned from her. Kim Russo, Teresa Caputo, me, I studied with her. Jerry, you studied with her. So many of us have had the honor of working with Pat, and I still do. Every other Thursday night, I get to see Pat virtually, and if any of you want Pat's information, she's absolutely my guru and will always be, and I am forever grateful. So that is my Pat, and I'm grateful that I sound like you, Pat. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, okay, so one more, forgiveness. Gosh, I could talk about forgiveness for hours. Forgiveness is a tough one sometimes, especially when someone has wronged your child. And I did do a live on that a few years ago. Someone had wronged my child, my son. And it was the hardest thing because I couldn't put a Band-Aid on it. See, if someone hurts me, I can go, thanks, and move on. But when it comes to your children, our claws start here, right? We're mama bears, and our claws start here. Very, very hard to forgive someone when they hurt your kid. Very, very hard to forgive someone when you see hurt in your child's eyes and you cannot take that pain. And even as a Reiki healer, I'm a natural healer, taking someone's pain, no, it's an experience and it has to be felt and it has to be learned from. So I went to church every Sunday and I got down on my knees and I prayed. I prayed for the people that hurt my son. And I said, God, this is the hardest thing I have to do, is to pray for these people. But I knew it was the right thing. Deep in my core, I knew it was the right thing because these people needed help to help their child, right? It was kind of like a big circle of events. And I felt like it was a little bit of a test in my faith at that time. Like, which way was I going to go? You know, and I chose to give my pain up to God. And as soon as I did, everything resolved itself. The very next day, I stood in my kitchen. I said, I can't do this anymore. And like real dramatic, put my hands up and I said, I can't do this anymore. You have to take care of this for me. I can't do it. And the very next day it was resolved. So sometimes we have to face our pain and we really have to dig deep to do the forgiveness and do that hard work. Life is not meant to be super easy all the time, but we do have choices to be happy, right? Learning our lessons isn't always easy, but we do have the choice to be happy. At the end of the day, you choose your happiness. You choose it. So, you know, make the limoncello out of the lemons. You have the ability to do that. And forgiveness is a big part of it. Forgiving yourself. We've all made mistakes. We try to be the best we can be, the best parent we can be, the best mother, the best father, the best friend. We're not perfect, the best daughter. My mother will tell you, I've had my moments, but I do my best. And I've had to forgive myself. And I've had to ask for forgiveness because I'm not perfect. And that's okay. We're here because we're not perfect. We're here to learn our lessons and help each other. All right. So I hope tonight, Manifesting 101, I hope we all learned something tonight. I had a lot of fun with you. Oh, Pat, thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here tonight. And I will see you tomorrow night. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. And there is a meditation circle in my house next week, February 7th. If anyone's interested, you can join virtually. Let me know. Hi, Nicole. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the love. Have a great night. Love, light and love always. Have a great night. Bye.